Right, the two engine halves are together, and what I'm going to do now is the clutch. I'm changing the O-ring and the ring that sits on the lever at the bottom. See it just in there? So just use a little screwdriver or whatever you got to pick. I'm going to use this screwdriver, and it should then come out and just slide along. I'm doing it the wrong way, aren't I? Fiddly, yes. I don't know if you can see that or not. All you do is just pierce it along. You can break it if you want. You're not using it again anyway. And it just literally just slides along. Leave that on there, and then give the shaft a wipe. So there's no grease and dirt. Grease is not a problem. And we take our washers. The little one is the one that goes on the shaft. And if I just get a little bit of gearbox oil. No more than a finger bob worth. A little drop on your finger, put it on the shaft, and then just roll your new O-ring down. Obviously you've got to be careful with this one, because this is the one you're relying on, the other one you've binned. I'll just roll it down like so into place. They can be a bit tight when they're new, and that's in there now. Yeah, my hands are white, and what I'll do is I'll leave that one side for a moment, because I'm going to do the big one now on the outside edge. So again, screwdriver under it and just preen it out. This one's probably better to get with a knife blade, which I should have there. I'm still not cutting it, which you could do. There you go. So I'll just put the blade under it and pulled it off, and again wipe around the edge in there. Should be clean anyway, but make sure it is. Don't want no dirt, because you're relying on that little rubber O-ring. Yeah, and then you want your new one like so. And again, just put a little dab of gearbox oil on it. Not swimming, but just a little bit on the outside of it. And again, roll that one into place. There can be a bit of a pig to put on. Just roll it in. See? I'm running out of hands and fingers here. So that's in. And make sure it's pressed home, just with your fingernail, and it's got a bead of oil on it. And again, inside here you want completely clean, no dirt and grit or anything. And I can see a little bit inside there, just inside the edge there, so I'm just giving that a wipe. That's better. This is quite easy. On older Vespas, this used to have a hole in it and used to have a circlip in there. They've decided just to use the spring. If you look at the spring, it's got two little connections on it, so you just put that down on the outside, put a bit of oil up inside here, put your shaft in. It should just click home, but before you put the shaft in you need that. And it's kind of hard to show you, but that actuates the clutch. So it goes in like that, that pushes home. So it should look like that. And that's your lever moving. And then this part here, which is your plunger, if it's worn out and you've got no groove there, bin it. And likewise with the pressure plate for the clutch itself. So all I'm doing is just cleaning that up, and then I'm going to put a little dab of grease inside there. Just so it moves freely. I always find that grease, the gearbox oil never seems to get rid of the grease. Oh, this one's the same both sides, but generally they're different. And that's our nice free and easy plunger. So when you pull your clutch cable, that's what's actuating on your clutch. Now all we've got to do is get this spring in place, which is a bit easier than it sounds, to be honest. Put the top one in and then just use a screwdriver under it and just lever it around. It's a bit fiddly and it's like kind of impossible to show you with the camera where it is. Doesn't help when you've got greasy hands, but that's just before I push it home. There you go. So that's under tension now. One goes the clutch, and again any part that's dirty just give a wipe. That's a rear hub bearing which I don't want to lose. I'm just giving our clutch a nice wipe so she's nice and clean, and we just need to take out the plunger plate. And what we're doing with this, if I spin the engine around, so what we need to do is put our washer in line with the woodruff key. So that needs turning round. Like so. And we need our woodruff key now, which is here. What you don't want to do is drop that beast inside. So ideally you want the crankshaft to be up in the top, and then just drop your woodruff key in like so, and our clutch can go in on that. So what we're looking for is the cutout with the woodruff key part, and again just put a dab of oil where the surface is made, just a dab of oil there and a bit on the shaft. There you go, one clutch in place. So we'll put our washer and our nut on. And we want our, what we can do is just tighten it up at the moment, finger tight. I want our 14mm. We need to torque it down. 35 pounds. Right, so that's done. So what I need now, right, so I've got it set to 35 pounds. There you go. We need our cover on, and I give that a clean as well. It won't be long till I'm changing that for a new one. It's not worn out, but it's showing signs of wear. But again, they're under tension all the time, so putting the spring back in. Just had to put that spring back in on there. So if you notice on here, it's got a cutout that lines up with that part there. I'll put it in like that, so it's in line with the spring underneath, and then just clip that part back in. There you go, and it should click in place. There you go, and that shouldn't turn around. So again, just put a dab of oil on here. Like I say, I don't really like using grease there because it doesn't wash off. And then all we need to do is take our holder out, take our bolts off, which are lock solid. Right, I've got my 10mm. What I can do is just use the screwdriver attachment on the socket, just to loosely put them in. So all we got to make sure is that doesn't fall out of place. Put it in place. Normally what I find is they never go on. Give them a wiggle like that, and then just put these in. That's it. And then just loosely tighten them up. Again, these are normally nuts and bolts and the thread goes in the cases because people don't tighten them up properly. I'll get a bit of grease off of there. And with the clutching now, when we kick it over, the crankshaft will start moving up and down. Right, and then what we can do is just stick the socket. I never use a torque driver on this because I just do them by feel. Again, just tighten them up. That's it. I'm happy with that. Just check the clutch, that's solid. Right, that's one clutch in.